This is a space of kindness and encouragement, so let's be welcoming to everyone looking to better themselves. If you have questions, drop them in the chat or use the super chat to make sure it gets addressed. Thank you for being a part of our community. Let's make it a great night. Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday Night Live in the morning. How's everybody doing today? I'm by myself currently, but that is not something that's going to be happening for much longer. The lady's here. We're hanging out. She'll be back here shortly. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, my goodness. So anyway, welcome back to Tuesday Night Live in the morning. We're so glad she's indisposed currently. She'll be here shortly. She's upstairs taking care of some stuff, and I told her the countdown was on and she said she'd be here in a few minutes, but you know how she is with that. But anyway, I'm so glad you're all here with me today. And we've got a mix of updates and health to talk to you about. Well, health is a strong word, but updates. Chandra, I just got her started on some beef thyroid supplements, the Ancestral Beef Thyroid supplements. I ordered her 2 bottles of that. We'll talk about that in a little bit when she's joining us. And we'll share what that looks like, what we're hoping to see. On top of that, life is busy, and the girl's birthday is this weekend. We're doing stuff tonight. We're taking her to Build-A-Bear because we won't have time on her birthday. And that's kind of a tradition that we take her to Build-A-Bear for her birthday. She gets to Build-A-Bear, stuff it, kiss the heart, do all the stuff. And the kids are all going to finalize their move in this weekend because it's Labor Day here in the States. This coming weekend, Monday is Labor Day, so it's a long weekend. Hopefully we get everybody kind of at least in, and then we can slowly start getting settled and we can start getting everything kind of put back together. It's going to be hectic. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be awful. There's going to be dogs here. Our kid is he's doing a long weekend in Japan, and we're going to have his dog. Then when his dog gets picked up, what do we pick him up from the airport when he gets back from his long weekend in Japan? Then the other kids will have their 2 dogs living here. It's gonna be a mess. I'm not ready. We've been planning this and putting it off for so long. We've talked about it for weeks. But it's a big push to get everything settled. Summer's starting to its descent into fall. We know, fall doesn't start till September 21st. But it was like 60 degrees this morning, like 58 to 60 degrees this morning. Had to turn on the heated seats in the car. How bougie are we? But we can't survive without a car with heated seats anymore. And we're just excited to be here today. So what's going on with all of you? Oh, as always, if you have questions, the triple Qs, you can use a super chat. And if you want to support the channel, as always, KetoSimple.Shop is the best way to do so. Oh my goodness, who all is here? Amy is here. Good morning, Amy. Rockin' keto, Amy. She is a rockin'. Helen is here. Cave Woman Diet Helen. Thank you for joining us all the way across the pond. Good evening, afternoon for you. It's got to be what? If 7 a.m., 8 a.m. was 3 o'clock for you, I don't know what time it is now, 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. Andy is here. My lady laugh a lot. Good morning to you. Jeremiah's in the house. Good morning from the office. Well, isn't that special? Ugh, office life. I don't think I can do it anymore. Jerry! Jerry! I've missed you, Jerry. I haven't seen you in a long time. She says, good morning, everyone. I just left a comment on your Bill Garbage Gates butter video. Yeah, I had dropped a video about an hour and 10 minutes ago about the butter, the Bill Gates butter, the carbon butter that they're going to be making out of CO2 and all that methane and everything. And I'm like, I was more optimistic than I think most people would be. I try to be fair with my video. Like it, probably not. And I'm curious to see how the bulk of people react to it. I didn't mention the video, but I did mention the video that currently I think there's some Michelin star restaurants that it's available. And then I think I mentioned also that this Christmas there's going to be some chocolates that contain the butter. And then about 2027, it's going to go full production, being in grocery stores. I imagine it'll probably roll out in places like Whole Foods and the bougie like Thrive Market type places. But we'll see. We'll see what the reception looks like. I am not optimistic. Of course, I don't think it's going to be all that healthy, even though there's some weird things about it. So I did find out some preliminary nutrition facts on it. It is 12 grams of fat per tablespoon, 12 of which being saturated, which is odd because you would think that if Bill Gates was involved and they're trying to make it healthy, they would be making it monounsaturated instead of saturated. But it's only saturated fats, but it has 0 grams of cholesterol, which makes sense because cholesterol is obviously what's doing us all the damage. Because regular butter has I can't remember the number off the top of my head, 50 grams of, no, not 50 grams, milligrams, 50 milligrams of cholesterol. Yeah. Watch the video, leave a comment, share it out on your socials. Help me out. I'd appreciate it very much. Charlie's in the house. Good morning, Charlie. I'm glad to see you, my friend. Ready for work. Sorry, I can't comment. Sad. You can be sad all you want. Our good friend and pillar of the community, Sean Bradley's in the house. I want to say good morning to you, my friend. How is Shell? How's she doing? And Andy says Susan is at work, and I'm playing with going to the bank. Need to get some money out for the envelopes. Are you sending envelopes of money for us? That would be cool. I'm just kidding. But Cindy is in the house. Good morning, Cindy. And she has the right idea. She says, Andy, can you send me one of those envelopes? I agree. Risa's in the house. Good morning, Risa. I'm glad to see you this morning. Oh, Risa. Yeah, and Helen said anything to do with Gates, I would avoid. Yeah, it's crazy to think that. I want to know, truly wonder if he actually thinks he's doing the right thing, or is this the beginnings of like a super villain? Like, I'm just curious, and I'm being laughed at. Does I mean, is he a super villain? Is he trying to be a good person? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Do you think he's trying to be a good person? He's just not very good at it. But he just there's photos of him. He just looks awful. He looks scary.
Well, I look scary in photos too. Doesn't make me a super villain.
Yes, it does.
Does it?
Mediocre villain.
Hey, I'm super, damn it.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry I'm late to the party. Oh,
Now it's a party.
is it?
She's here. Now it's a farty.
You're a furry.
Yep.
Oh, I'm a hot mess today, guys. I'm tired. I'm hair is a
Heard
mess.
that.
My hair is a mess. My brain is a mess. Our lives are about to be a mess.
All I want to do is take a nap.
That's all I ever want to do is take a nap.
All I want to do
Tell me
is
what
a zoom,
you want.
zoom,
What you
zoom,
really,
and
really
a boom,
want.
boom. We're singing two different songs, and it's fine.
My song's better.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You're singing Rump Shaker. It's a little early in the morning to be shaking rumps.
I ran out of coffee, and I'm sad.
Mm,
There's no one to make me any coffee because I'm the coffee maker.
yeah. I have about 2.5 more mouthfuls of coffee.
Brood.
It's not enough.
It is not what to make some more.
It's never enough.
Never enough. Why is the coffee always gone?
I know. I don't understand.
Amy says, I won't eat anything engineered by Bill Gates. To me, okay, so they're trying to take all this, like it's going to be made out of CO2, methane, and they're turning it into butter, adding like beta carotene and natural flavors and emulsifiers. And I'm like, it's supposed to be chemically identical to butter, but how is it chemically undetectably different from butter if it's only saturated fat? Because butter has saturated fat and other types of fats as well, not just saturated fat. And then it's also got cholesterol and it's got vitamins in it. And
I just feel like if your food says engineered, it's probably not made for you. I feel like it's just not okay. And I understand that we biologically engineer a lot of our foods.
and I mean,
like our vegetables and whatnot have been genetically modified to get to where they are now. And our meats, cows weren't that big hundreds of years ago, but they are now.
Well, I mean, they do feed them
garbage,
grain, and I mean, it's funny to hear like hear these quote unquote ethical these farmers, and they're feeding these cows like mess up candy. Like though if your farm is down the street from a factory that makes Skittles, and they have batches of Skittles that don't meet the standard to go in the packaging, they buy that food stuff from the factories at like
discounted
really
prices.
discounted, silly reduced rates.
Mm-hmm.
And then they feed it to the dairy cows, and like, how is that good for the cow? How is eating like messed up Snicker bars and messed up granola? Maybe granola might be better than Snicker bars, but still, like, they're supposed to eat grass. And I know and we are conditioned to like grain fed or grain finished beef, I should say. Almost every cow is grass fed to start with. And then once they get to a certain size after 2 years or whatever, then they move to feedlots or whatever. Then they're fed grain to fatten them up. Dr. Pohl years ago, Dr. Jan Pohl, and they would have these grain-fed cows. You'd have to go over and like jab them in the side and let the gas out.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember those old school like orange? They were orange color. They were probably made by Tupperware. There's like the time of Tupperware, like the orange color from Tupperware, and you would like screw into the orange, and then you would squeeze it out through the thing, and like you would basically just screw this thing into the orange, and then squeeze the orange, and the juice would come out. Do you remember those?
No. But I know what you're talking about as far as with the cow.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish they would do that to me when I get all gassy. Just screw something in there and let it go.
I try, but you always have a headache.
That's not what I meant.
Mhm.
Not even a little bit.
I hear you. She's tired. She's got taxes to do. Whatever.
Yep. I'm always washing my hair in the shower.
True. Grocery envelopes, trying to curb my budget a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel that. We've been buying chicken because it's $1.59 a pound.
Yeah.
Like, and it's delicious. I mean,
it is yummy.
I mean, you need beef too, but like chicken is kind of a good like bridge.
I like chicken. Chicken is good. I don't feel
satiated.
No, I feel satiated. I don't feel as it's weird. I don't feel as healthy on just chicken.
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing something.
I feel drained.
So let's circle back. So while you were away, I was talking about how we have started you on a regimen of the Ancestral brand Beef Thyroid supplement. Now you are now what? Let's see, Sunday.
2 days in.
3 days in today.
Yeah.
You started Sunday. I got the package on Saturday while she was at work. So she took it Sunday, yesterday, and she actually took it today, which it's getting her to take pills on her days off is. You would think a nurse would know to take her medicine.
I don't want to take meds. That's what it is. I don't want to take meds.
But I feel so much better when I'm on a regimen and I take my stuff. Like I take my magnesium, my potassium, I take my cinnamon, and I take all the things. I feel so much better. Like I felt like I'm fully well-rounded.
I don't really feel much.
I have been feeling so gassy, but we've been eating like trash too.
Yeah,
I mean, really
you've
trashy.
Been buying garbage.
Like the other day, I ate a whole pie.
Garbage.
Like a whole pie, like ridiculously. Like Wilford Brimley was looking down on me in disappointment and shamed him.
He was cheering because he thought you would be meeting him soon.
He was like, call this number and get all the diabetes stuff you need.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been buying straight garbage.
And it's such a hard habit. I mean, it's just stress.
But you're pre-stress eating. Like the stress isn't even here yet. And you're buying
that
garbage.
Stresses me out because I know it's coming.
You can't.
It's like winter is coming. And we're talking about it for 10 years. Winter is coming.
Yeah. You can't do that. That's so bad. Because then when the stress gets here, you're just going to keep going and it's going to steamroll like an avalanche down a mountain and it's just going to keep going and going and going.
I was editing that video of myself last night and I was like, man, I look so fat. And I know that there's probably a little bit of realism there and there's probably some truth to it, but I'm just like, and if you watch the video, you'll be like, oh, he does look really fat.
Repeat this. What did I miss? You think you look really fat in a video?
I released a video. I made a video last night, released it this morning. It released at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m.
Yeah.
The butter video.
Yeah.
I look so fat in this video. It's ridiculous. And and I know that sounds silly and like I'm talking bad about myself, but I mean, there's a lot of times that I've over the last few years, I've made videos and I'm like, man, I'm looking better. I'm looking good. Last night, no. I was like,
I love you. I look fat in every video. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I am fat.
Sonny is here. Good morning, Sonny.
I think my speaker was hidden again. Good morning, Sonny.
They're hearing you because you still got my mic over here too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hashtag more mic.
Hashtag more mics. I'm exhausted.
Jerry says, don't ever get me started on the latest scare that is out there called the screwworm that is affecting cattle. I can't even keep up.
I've heard about it. It's typically in South America, and they've had a human have it. But essentially, the screwworm is a flesh-eating worm parasite that's been killing cattle.
I'm still waiting for murder hornets to get here.
I don't want murder hornets to get here.
Yeah,
I really don't. I'm good.
The cicadas are trying to attack me in the front yard.
I don't want Africanized bees.
Africanized killer bees.
I don't want cicadas. I don't want bugs of any flavor or worms.
If you have Lyme disease, go hang out with some Africanized killer bees and let them sting you half to death.
Do not do that. That is not medical advice.
That is not medical advice.
Do not do that. And it is not proven for one person. Well,
there's theory behind it, but they didn't have any ethical way to figure if it was going to work or not.
And one person got attacked by Africanized bees and it took care of their Lyme disease.
Yeah. So
nearly killed them, but they took care of their Lyme disease.
Nearly?
How can you be nearly headless? We probably need to start watching that again.
Yeah, just the first two.
I'll watch them all.
All right, Pokemon. Holly Springer's in the house. Good morning, Holly.
Hi, Holly.
Risa says, Andy, I'm in the middle of watching your latest video. Had to stop to come here. Well, thank you.
Thanks, Risa, for coming here.
She was like, screw Andy. I'm going to go hang out with Dustin. Yeah.
That's how it normally goes, is it?
Amy says, hi, Chandra.
Hi, Amy. I am alive. I am here.
I mean,
I'm mostly alive.
Yeah.
About the same as normal.
Terry Sue is here. She says, morning, you two, and all the others. Wait, there's other people here?
Only in your head, babe.
That's a crowded place.
It's a crowded place.
Now the show can begin. Chandra is here.
Hi, Cindy.
Love you too, Cindy. Jerk. Anyway.
It's all right. I'll hit him for you.
Ow. Wreck is here. Morning Quackers. He was talking about last night. He was like, his van broke down.
Yeah.
And he had to like fix it with a coat hanger.
Oh.
Like make a coat hanger into a gear shift.
Okay.
I was like, you know what?
It happens.
Like his entire life is like a weird side quest.
I just think it's cool that he's handy enough to fix things. Because I would probably be like, well, it's dead. I guess we're walking.
Yeah. Terry Sue said, morning to Cindy. Oh, Risa says, Dustin, I tried Javi protein coffee yesterday. I thought it was pretty good for a powder. Have you tried it? I also found
mud water
locally. I will start using it as a coffee. We were looking at Javi. There was a brand we were looking at that had like flavorings. They had like a mint chocolate chip, and I was looking at getting you some, but you never really solidified if you wanted to try it or not, because she's been trying a different.
I don't want to spend a lot of money on stuff trying to get something I like when nothing is what I like.
Well, the crazy thing is, like, in stores, there's like no flavorings. Where was I? I was at like Costco doesn't have like coffee flavorings. You'd think that it'd have like at least a flavor or two of like the giant flavorings or whatever. And then where was I?
World Market has them.
Yeah, but that's like 45 minutes away.
I know.
We'd have to go and stock up.
They don't have anything I really want anyway.
Well, I mean, it's probably about time it's starting to cool down. Maybe we'll take a day and go over there just go up there during the morning time when it's probably not so busy. And maybe stock up on whatever they have. That was like, we got some crickets and, But yeah, it was a Javi. I think that's what it was. It was like, and like they show you like their little ads of them packing people's orders. Yeah. Rick says the cow's ancestors were larger when wild. I bet they were.
They were probably more muscular. Now they're just flabby.
Yeah.
Now they're like me. They've gotten flabby with their old age.
Moto in the house.
You about to turn it out?
Yeah. So what is it that you like about me? You're so huge. You're so large. What else? You're so huge. I love that. That's like the best part of that movie.
Is the best part.
Moto in the house.
He's talking about Madagascar. If you haven't,
I think it's Madagascar 2. I think.
Oh yeah, it is the second one.
Yeah.
Anywho.
And Reese is asking, has anybody tried mud water? I've seen a few influencers that drink it instead of coffee.
Is that the one made out of mushrooms?
Let's see. Has some of the same.
I was getting out my phone.
Let's see. Let's find your starter kit. Mud, WTR, mud water. It's got cacao. Let's see. I want to see like what all it has in it.
That would be nice.
Cacao, lion's mane. Ugh. I just want to look. I don't need you to throw all these ads at me. I'm already on your website. So let's see. 35 milligrams of caffeine. That's a 12-ounce. Okay, so it's got 35 milligrams of caffeine. A 12-ounce Starbucks Pike Place has over 235 milligrams of caffeine, which caffeine's kind of important to me. So,
I do like it.
2,240 milligrams functional mushrooms. Are these mushrooms going to take you on a trip? Take a little trip. Mushrooms grown in the USA. USDA certified organic, vegan, GMO, gluten-free, no sugar or sweeteners, no fillers or binders, third-party tested, Whole30 approved. Sounds miserable.
Sounds like something I'm probably never going to try. And if I do, I'll probably take a sip, but I doubt I'm going to like it.
How much is this going to cost?
Yeah, it does sound expensive.
Ugh, matcha, gross. Turmeric, no thanks.
Some people like matcha.
I hear you, but I don't. If you like it, don't take offense to me going, ugh. I'm not trying to yuck your yum. I'm trying to make sure you know that I don't like it. 30 serving, original 10, $40. I'll stick with our
cheap coffee.
It's delicious coffee. I need to set up a subscribe and save on Amazon because I got some on sale the other day from Kroger for $7 a container. And I had to buy 5 of them to get that.
I'm sorry, kiddos. I'm feeling tired.
Rick says cows here were fed sugarcane. Yeah. Sugarcane, if you ever want to go down a rabbit hole that's depressing, look at the history of sugarcane in the Caribbean and into the United States. It's rough. That's all I'll say about that. Let's see. Terry Sue says the only weird coffee I've tried recently is mushroom coffee. I was getting some mushroom coffee and I bought a couple of containers of it at Kroger and was putting it in my regular coffee. I don't think I noticed any difference. So it's like just putting a scoop in with my coffee.
I like actual mushrooms.
I do not.
I don't need it blended into my coffee. I don't want to muck up my coffee.
Let's see, which tastes like. Let's see, mushroom coffee, which tastes like. Well, I can say the word gave it away. One of my yuppie friends. Well, I didn't notice a difference because I was mixing it actually in with coffee. So yeah. And then Rick says, I'm lucky to never be gassy. Nice. I mean, eventually your body's still going to do it. You're going to toot every once in a while. It's just the body's natural reaction.
I do it a lot less eating keto.
Oh yeah. When we're eating strict, I have I'll toot and oh, was that me?
Somebody stepped on a duck.
Yeah. Let's see. Risa says this week at ShopRite, they produce chicken legs. I'm not a big fan of chicken legs. I don't think you're getting enough for it.
Yeah, but at 79 cents a pound, you get enough for it.
Yeah.
But
usually when chicken legs are on sale, chicken thighs are usually on sale too.
We definitely prefer the thighs.
I would much rather have the thighs than the chicken legs. I always feel like the chicken legs, the legs are more sinewy. There's more like
gristle
and stuff.
Bits.
Yeah. Things you're actually going to eat unless you're like starvation mode. Let's see, how can you not buy it and cook them up even? And I feel like they just shrink up so much too.
Oh, I'm trying not to fall asleep on you guys.
You know what? Come on now. I'll tickle you.
Don't do that.
Charlie said the local regenerative farmer in town sells grass-fed beef, but it's really lean, like 90%. That is what happens when you feed cows a species-appropriate diet, not obese enough. Yeah. And we need the fat.
Yeah.
In theory. And Helen says iodine supplements help thyroid. We use iodine. I gotta probably up our supply. They usually buy 3 bottles at a time. It's like usually $45 for 3 bottles.
Yeah.
And I'll probably need to buy some of those because I just opened another bottle, but some of it had leaked around. Yeah. Risa says I don't take Primal Queen, but I have been way more consistent adding pluck seasoning to all my meals. Well, that's the thing is like I like the idea of like a supplement over like a seasoning because then you may get tired of the seasoning, whereas a supplement, you're not going to really notice it. You're just drinking it with water and it's not flavoring your life.
Yeah.
And Primal Queen, they must have a big budget because they advertise to me as much as Keto Chow advertises to me, which is weird because Keto Chow would probably be better served advertising to somebody who isn't me, considering I'm an affiliate with them and I'm supposed to be advertising for them. So take that for what it's worth. But I know I was looking at getting Primal Queen, and I don't know like what it was going to be a lot of money, but then I thought that the Ancestral was about the same price, but Ancestral has 180 capsules or 160 capsules. I think it's 160 capsules. Maybe it's 180. I don't remember.
I don't know.
Big two bottles. That's what I bought her for $100 for $100. I already waddle, Rick. It's like, are you trying to be waddling and quacking? That's just me already. I'm already waddling. And you need to put down boundaries and end date. Well, there's no end dates. There's just no way, because there's no way to know how long it's going to take them, even once they get to a point where they have money for a house, to actually find a house that's worth buying.
Yeah.
And then getting into the house. And then even with money to buy a house, are they going to be able to get a house? Because we know that corporations buy houses faster than anybody else, because they'll come in and they'll pay more, pay cash, do whatever they have to do to get the house faster. But I mean, they've got the right idea. There was an estate sale like last week, and they were supposed to go, which they didn't go, which the granddaughter was 100% right, because she was upset. We were going to take her to the estate sale because it was in our neighborhood. And then she was like, no, we're going to go tomorrow. Mommy said, no, we're going to go tomorrow. And she goes, you always say we're going to do it tomorrow, and then we don't.
Never do it.
And that's exactly what happened. And then Mommy was like, don't remind her, because she forgot too. And I was like, that's just, you can't go through life doing that to your kid, in my opinion. I know you got to do it sometimes because kids.
And life happens and stuff happens.
Yeah. But if she knows that that's how it goes, it happens more often than it should.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, having the kids here, having the ability to have the kids here is a blessing.
Okay. I mean, we knew this was going to come this way. We've known this is going to happen. We know this is, the time. We've known that this is the best place for them,
Yeah. Joe said the other day that, like, he's like, you're better than me.
Who is?
Joe said that I'm better than him.
Yeah. Why?
He'd be like, you can't live here. But at the same, like,
okay, so I grew up in a house with my parents and all my siblings, and it was a large house. And when I needed somewhere to go as an adult, there wasn't somewhere to go. There was never you guys can come back in. You can stay back here. And that's really hard. When you know that they have the space and they could be helpful, but they just aren't. So, and I don't blame my parents for anything. They did right by me. They helped me get a house. They helped me with all the things that they could. I don't have the financial position to put our kids in a house. What I have the financial position to do is to make space in the house that I do have. So, you make do, but you do for your family. That's what I do. I do for my family. It's what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to not do for my family.
And I mean, realistically, I mean, it's going to be rough. It's going to be hard, though. The personalities are going to clash. And I'm probably going to, I mean, with what I've got coming up over the next year, I'm going to be busy, hopefully busy with YouTube, with the classes over the next 6 months that start next week. And then once those classes are done, putting to use what I took from those classes and building something out of that, it's going to take a lot of time away. And I'm going to be squirreled away in our room, busy all the time when I'm not napping with the Michelin baby. And I'm hoping for a little Michelin baby.
We did find out that the baby is but 2 centimeters longer than it's supposed
2
to be.
inches longer.
2 inches longer. I can't remember.
It's like I think it's supposed to be. She's supposed to be 10 or 12 inches, and she's 14 inches already.
They're already measuring babies in inches at that size? That's going to be a huge child.
She's going to be massive, yeah.
I mean, it stands to reason, though.
They're usually like, what, 22 inches long?
Yeah.
So it's about half of what it's supposed to be.
So it stands to reason as my daughter's very tall. She's 5'9". So stands to reason. I'm only about 5'7". There must be some tall genes further back than we realize because both of the boys are over 6 feet, quite a bit over 6 feet.
Yeah, they're both taller than me.
Yeah. I think Jackson's about 6'2".
Hunter's almost 6'4".
Yeah, Hunter's almost 6'4". So like stands to reason she's going to have tall children. But anywho, it's all going to be an adjustment for us, but we do for family. That's what you do. You do for family. Now they've been pretty good about not really borrowing money and that kind of stuff. So that'll be.
I mean, they already owe us a lot.
Well, that's true. They'll never pay us all the way back. But trying to keep the family together, help out where we can. This is a way in which we can help.
And hopefully it makes it easier for us to be able to, because we're still planning to go on vacation in October to go to the Alabama place. And
I was a young mom with kids. Now Sissy's older now, so this isn't going to be hopefully as hard as the first round. The first round, I mean, it's so hard having a kid and feeling alone. So they lived here with us when our first granddaughter was born, and
there's no way she could have felt alone because that baby.
Yeah, and we helped. I mean, that's what you do. We helped. We'd get up in the morning. I would get up in the morning on my days off and knock on their bedroom door.
I would do that.
You would knock on the bedroom door and take pictures of the baby and then go to work.
Well, I had to go to work but I had to take new pictures and I was showing people at work because we would do like the teams. There were teams wasn't the thing yet, but I would get up and take pictures of it because I needed to see my girl in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm still very much that. And then when I lost my job and it afforded me the ability to be here every day with her.
Full-time caregiver.
I was her and that got her out of the daycare because the lady didn't smoke in her house, but she smoked in her house.
Yeah. And she smelled like cigarettes every time she came over.
And so, we got her out of daycare, which was somebody's house, and we just took care of her. And she's been here with me and
every day,
every single day, which is hilarious. Except because the other day we were in the car and we were on our way to school or on the way to school. Yeah. You had to work that day. And I was on the way to school and she was like, Paul, I was like, oh, we're talking about the new baby. And she says, well, when, I don't know, because when I first met you, I was like, and I was like, what do you mean when you first met me? I was there day one, like hour one, like I'm right there. You popped out and here's Paul. I mean, like I was there.
We were sitting there waiting for you to get out.
I was stressed out that day too because we had a air conditioner installed the day before, and the bank. I didn't realize that there was like a limit on your debit card. There's debit card limits, like how much you can spend on your debit card, and it wasn't enough to cover
the air conditioner.
I had the money in my account,
but they wouldn't let us charge it.
And you can raise the limit, but I had just updated our address and everything because I had officially moved in here. I lived here forever, but I'd never like changed my address and all that stuff because my grandma still had an apartment. And so we were like, I just kept that address and it was no big deal. But I finally changed my address with the bank. And so because I had just changed my address with the bank, they wouldn't let me up the limit. So then I had to, they'd install it. They couldn't just take it back.
Right.
I couldn't just uninstall it. So I had to go, well, I'll get the money tomorrow. They're like, okay, because I'm sure this happens. So I had to go get a bank check the next day. So I had to rush over to the bank, go to the heating and air conditioning place, drop off the check for the full amount, and then rush to the hospital because I'm like, this baby can't be born until I'm there. Oh, I saw a video the other day, or yesterday I saw a short video.
Mm-hmm.
Like the wife had sent the husband off to go get food, and he comes into the hospital room to give food, and she's got like a bundle of blankets. And she's, you were late. Took you too long to get food. He goes, what? And it wasn't really the baby. Anyway, I don't know what I was talking about before, but yeah.
Anyway,
I got off and I don't even know where am I?
You got off the stop and don't know where you're landing. That's fair.
I got off on the wrong exit of the roundabout.
This is what we do. We helped with the first one. Yeah. We're going to help with the second one. I
can't wait.
Every morning when I would be off work, I would knock on their door and I would look and say, I'm taking, and we would hang out.
Did you ever hold her and cry?
A little bit. We would hang out, we would play and talk and cuddle and nap, and I would feed her and change her and do all the things and let the kids sleep, because I know how hard it is to try to do all those things on your own. And even when you have a partner, I mean, it obviously depends on who your partner is. But at the time that I did it, my partner was not exactly helpful. So it was just me doing it all. And I was young. I was very young. And my daughter was young when she had our first one. She was 20. That's young. And it's hard to be able to focus, to be able to get things accomplished. And, if somebody else is there that you can rely on, that is going to take care when you can't, then that's just a wonderful gift that we can give to them. That's something that I'm always willing to do, is help my children. I will never not help them. I always want them to help themselves, but there's often times where that's impossible. So, anywho.
And Terry says, don't beat yourself up, Dustin. Camera adds 10 pounds. Camera added an extra person.
The camera always adds an extra 50 when you look at me, just so you know.
Oof. Charger. Rick says, I got Africanized bees in my yard. Well,
yeah. That sounds awful.
Charlie says, wait, there's non-murder hornets? Well, I mean, normal hornets are about that big. The murder hornets are like that big. So
I don't want any of it. Any of it.
I do enjoy the videos where they take the buckets of gasoline over the hornet's nest. They just all fall in. You're like, yeah. And then there's always comments, why would you do that to them? Like,
hornets, I don't believe serve a purpose otherwise.
I don't really know if they do.
I don't know that they add to the environment.
Sean says, after the yellow jackets the past weekend, I don't even want to think about murder hornets. Risa says, thankfully, we've had few bugs this summer. No cicada. The cicadas have been loud and proud here in our house.
Okay, so I suppose hornets are natural pest controllers. They eliminate thousands of harmful insects like aphids and caterpillars, and they recycle nutrients from dead insects back into the soil.
If only they didn't attack humans.
Yeah.
Like, we're not trying to steal your home. We're just in the yard. And the cicada scared me to death today because it was like, I don't know, it was dying or what, but it was like upside down, flapping its wings on my driveway. I'm like, what happened?
They also can act as pollinators, but they are not as efficient as bees.
Yeah.
They are also a food source for birds and other wildlife.
Yeah, birds like them, I think, don't they? Yeah.
They like to eat them.
Yeah. Risa says to Andy, I will after the live. I'm so happy you're being consistent with your steps so early in the AM, and I'm not an early morning person. The earliest I get up is 8:30.
That's fair. I don't want to be a morning person either. I'm more like a mid-afternoon person.
Oh, yeah. Even after my coffee, I'm still kind of sleepy. Jeremiah says,
I'm up in the morning, but I don't feel right till mid-afternoon.
It's true. Jeremiah says, I got spicy chocolate and wine from the World Market Sunday. We went to see the K-pop movie, My Little Soda Pop.
That is such a good movie.
If you haven't seen it, it's good.
I hate to say that it's a good movie because but it is. But the songs just, ugh, talk about worms. They get in your ear.
Oh, so the basic premise of the movie is throughout history, there's been a trio of girls that sing to keep demons at bay. And the demons are always trying to foil their plans.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're these big pop stars and are on like a private jet. And then the demons are like the pilot and like the stewardesses or whatever.
Like all the personnel.
The flight attendants or whatever. But they could tell because like they're pouring coffee into the plants. And I'm like, why is there a plant on the plane?
The one doing the seatbelt safety doesn't know how to buckle a seatbelt.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, Lord. And they're demons, but they're not scary. They're kind of
goofy.
Yeah, they're goofy. So, but yeah, we get on that, and now the songs, you can't get them out of your head.
Yeah.
The songs are good. Okay, so if anybody ever watched Frozen and got those songs stuck in your head, this is like
Moana,
that, but they're good songs.
Encanto.
Because Frozen, I don't like those songs.
So we're gonna be all over. Like it's gonna be repeat with all the Disney songs.
Yeah, that's true.
Moana was. We watched Moana 6 times a day.
How far I'll go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Tafiti. Yeah. Let's see.
I still never finished watching the second Moana.
It's no. It was supposed to be a TV series. They got scrapped and they cut it and made it to a movie. Oof. They got like most of the TV series done or whatever, and they pieced it together to make a movie.
Oof.
So Risa says, yes, and it's made from mushrooms.
Oh, talking about that coffee stuff.
Yeah, like that and Four Sigmatic and all that stuff. Let's see. I will not use it strictly as a coffee alternative, just an additional coffee in the morning. It has caffeine, so I figured it might add something good to my AM.
It might.
It's not cheap. I will try, but not to be consistent addition to my diet. I got it for $25 at Target. I got like a thing of 30 servings of a mushroom coffee from Kroger, and it was $10 for 30 servings. Mm-hmm. So that wasn't awful. I just wanted to try it. Let's see. Risa says, I figured espresso has raised their prices, and a 10-pack is $25. Now that's so. Thing is go over to Amazon and search Amazon Prime or Amazon Basics Nespresso, and then you can find they're usually $15, $16 for 50 pods.
And it tastes just as fine.
Now, one thing I think that would have been our problem.
I don't know that they work as well in the machine.
Yeah, because we primarily use those and they're made of plastic versus the original Nespressos are made of like metal. Aluminum or whatever. Yeah. And I imagine there's probably something with the plastic and the heat and that's why we went through like 5 machines in 5 years.
But at the same time, the one that was the actual Nespresso brand machine was the first one we had, and it was still going strong and would have had it not been dropped and broken.
Yeah, but we had never cleaned it, so it might have been on its last leg anyway.
It would have been cleaned.
Let's see. Tanya is here. Good morning, all. Glad you are here so I can procrastinate getting to work. I hear you on that.
Same.
Yeah. Roddy Danger. They do not respect me at all. The kids, they do not respect me. I get no respect.
It's
very much true. They don't, especially the young one. She loves me, but she knows that she can play me like a fiddle.
To be fair, you can be played like a fiddle.
You do it too. You get whatever you want out of me.
That's because I'm in charge.
Mm-hmm. Terry Sue says, I don't like chicken legs either, but they are good for soup and broths.
Yeah.
Broths. And Risa says, I actually do like chicken legs, although I prefer the thighs and wings. Yeah, the wings are just expensive for some reason. Like, they shouldn't be as expensive as they are because you're not even getting much meat.
Yeah.
You're really paying for mostly bone, and they're still charging you a lot. That's like getting a cowboy, like one of those tomahawk ribeyes. Yes. It's like you're paying for like 5 ounces of bone. No thanks.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see that Tanya's here because I haven't seen her in a while.
Well, good to see you, Tanya.
And then let's see. Risa says, I've been taking Rutieri capsules from Dr. Davis when I do not have my fermented dairy prepared. They are helping my gut a lot. Way less issues. Okay.
Nice.
Sherry says, good Tuesday night. I mean, morning, guys. It's Tuesday night in the morning.
Yes. Good night, morning.
Yes. Helen said, this generation of kids gets more support, I'd say, but you should always help out your kids. Simple as that. Whatever you can do. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like,
I mean, they're just,
if we can help, why wouldn't we?
I mean, they have jobs.
Right.
It's not
they
like
pay their bills.
Yeah. It's just an impossible situation right now because home prices are absolutely ridiculous.
And rentals in this area, like I think we talked about this a little bit
Yeah.
last time. The average apartment is $1,200 a month. That's unreasonable. In Indianapolis, that's unreasonable. The average income doesn't meet that.
Yeah. That's for a 2-bedroom, and you got to have like 2 people per room paying rent.
Yeah. The average income, that's unreasonable. People aren't going to be able to make that. I don't understand how.
Well, like the house next door to us is almost $2,000 just for rent.
Yeah, $2,000 a month, and
that's over twice our mortgage.
And it's a I mean, it's a nice home. It's a 3-bedroom, and it does have a fenced-in yard. So there's
the next door does not have a fenced-in yard. The one on the other side does. Yeah.
Anyway, it's a nice home, but that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. It's a 1-floor, 1,300 square foot home.
2.5 bath, 3-bedroom. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's wow.
And I think that, United States is kind of backwards. Like there's a lot of countries that people live at home. They never move out. Like they get married and they stay with their parents. Like now it's almost like you live with your parents.
Yeah.
Oh,
you must been that way for years.
Oh, you must be living in your parents' basement playing video games. You must be a loser.
Yeah.
I mean, all of our kids have jobs.
Yeah. And they take care of themselves, but housing is something that is just sort of.
Some are more responsible than others.
That's
Weekend
true.
trips to Japan. Like, I'm never going to get over that.
But yeah,
but at the same time, I kind of figure if I was him in the situation he's in, I probably would do the same thing.
Yeah, you would.
But I think probably why it bothers me so much, because I would have done the same thing and I would have made that mistake, and I would be telling him now not to make that mistake, but yet he's making that mistake. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I just hope he doesn't get lost halfway around the world. Ugh. That's the big thing.
We can't go get him.
I cannot go get him.
Only one of us could go.
I cannot go get him.
I'll go get him.
No, you won't.
I don't even have a passport, Lisa.
I don't either.
I don't have a passport, Lisa.
I don't either.
Like, you keep it knocking, but you can't come in. Andy says the average is 19 inches at birth.
Nah. Yeah,
And he said, my son was 22.5 inches at birth, and he's about 6 foot now.
My kids were only about 21. I mean, which in our family is average. But they all sprung right up there.
And Helen says, I found that building friendships on YouTube with carnivore people has helped me a lot with my mental health. Yeah, I mean, this helps me a lot. I mean, without this, I don't know where I would be.
Sucking your thumb and rocking on the floor in a corner.
I wouldn't be on the floor. I'd never get
You'd
up.
You'd be in the chair.
Yeah, I'd never get off the floor. And Cindy says, my sons are 44 and 43 and just under 6 foot. They were 10 pounds, 5 ounces, and 20 inches, 7 pounds, 14 ounces, and 22 inches at birth.
Yeah, my daughter was 9 pounds, 6 ounces. My second one was 10 pounds even, and my third one was 9 pounds, 11 ounces, and he was 2 weeks early. So I have big children. And to be fair, my mom had big children for her size. My mom is not 5'2". She claims 5'2". She is not 5'2". And
she's what, 4'11"?
No, she's 5 to 5'1" on a good day. But she claims 5'2", and she's very small, physically. She
demure.
Her claim to fame is that I've never worn larger than a size 4 my whole life, other than when I was pregnant with you children. So I think now she probably wears a 6 or an 8, but she's always been a size 4. She's 5'1", 5'2", and all of us kids were almost 8 pounds. I think 7 pounds, 15 ounces was the biggest of us.
And Terry Sue says chats are somewhat therapeutic for sure. I think that I try to make sure that this here is a space for everybody to where we can come and talk and let our hair down, so to speak.
Let loose.
Let
it out.
Yeah, just let it
let
out.
It go. Let it go.
Yeah. And Cindy says, Helen, you have made friends with not only the carnivore people here. Hey, simmer down, Cindy. Yeah. Let's see. Sherry says, my boyfriend's my
best friends,
yeah,
BFF
daughter used to say when we were going to do something, is it mommy's soon or daddy's soon? Because daddy's soon never comes. She was 3. She's in her 40s now. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the kids are always like, maybe means no.
Yes, my kids always used to say, well, maybe means no. And I'll tell them the answer to the question you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't ask, the answer is always no.
It's always better to ask for forgiveness than permission. So,
well, I never taught them that because I don't want them to do that. But I did always tell them, if you don't ask the question, my answer is no.
Sherry says, anytime since then, if the word soon is in the answer to any question, that phrase comes out of our mouth. Yes. Epo. Risa says, my son Trevor was 6 pounds, 7 ounces at birth, 21 inches long. He's about 5'11", closer to my dad's height, not much taller than his dad. I am short. All of his relatives are tall. I was 5 pounds, 1 ounce as a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was teeny tiny baby.
I was big for, big for my ma.
This is so wrong. That's so bad.
That's terrible.
Oh my goodness. Risa says we haven't had cicadas in year, thankfully. I mean, it's the sound of summer. I grew up with them and they don't bother me.
Yeah.
Until this year, like they've been
until they land on you.
Like one they hit open the car door, and one hit the car door. We had one on
the hood of
our car yesterday.
Just laying on its back like
Rick says ducks eat hornets. Good for ducks.
Yes, I'm very proud of ducks. I like ducks.
Julie in the Pines is here. She says, good morning, guys. Sounds like your lives are going to be even more exciting. I can't wait to hear all about your first week of classes, Dustin. Yeah, so I guess we're having the formal start to classes at like 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then I guess everything will happen on Fridays. There'll be office hours with the teachers. So and hopefully we'll get more. So yeah, at least the office hours are most of the office hours are while the girl's at school. So then depending on what kind of stuff happens, we'll figure a way around that when she isn't in school.
Yeah.
Let's see. Terry said we had a lot of locusts when we lived in the SoCal desert. The buzzing was soothing to me. White noise. Yeah. The weird thing is locusts are just they're just grasshoppers with a mission.
Yeah. They don't really bother me until they're landing on me and near me and in front of me. Then I'm like, ew, guys. But they're on the tree. They're out making their noise. No big deal.
Yeah. Nobody likes gnats.
Gnats are bad. I hate ants.
Yeah.
You got one ant, you got 10 million of them. And there's virtually no getting rid of those bastards.
I mean, we get these little traps and we set them out everywhere.
Yeah.
And they take care of them pretty good. Usually we'll have them for about a week and a half, 2 weeks when I get the traps down. And then they just slowly disappear after that. Like the traps kind of do their job after a while.
Yeah.
But it does take about 2 to 3 weeks to kind of put traps out.
I hate ants.
Yeah.
Ants are one of the worst.
Risa says, I love World Market, but they closed our local store a few years back. I was so angry about that. Now I can only shop online. So many food products I got there that I can't find anywhere else. Yeah. We've got an African store down the street. It was the motorcycle shop for a while. And now it's
where's
where the karate place is at the edge of our town, going towards the city, going towards Indianapolis.
In Speedway?
No. Going towards Speedway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there, and then at basically across from that old Admiral station there.
Really?
Yeah, there's an African store there.
Never noticed.
The African grocery store.
That shows you how much I pay attention.
And you don't go that way anymore.
No, but even still, we go past that enough.
Terry Sue must have hung out with Scott Baio. Didn't realize it because she got pink eye a lot when the Nats back in the 60s. Was Scott Baio even alive in the 60s? I don't know. Scott Baio gave me pink eye. Anyway. We have a lot of fruit flies. They drive me totally nuts. Yeah, they just kind of pop out of nowhere.
Yeah, they're just irritating.
Bacon Baby says, "Hi, everybody.
Bacon Baby.
Listening.
Thank you for joining us."
Yeah. Let's see, Terry says, we lived by Date Palm Grove. So many bugs, and the occasional plane would fly over and drop the Agent Orange crap on the trees. Oh, my goodness.
Oof. Yuckity yuck.
Amy says, I have to step away for a minute, have to go to the training room and test the computers for my presentation tomorrow.
Good luck. I hope they work. I hope you and technology are friends.
Well, she's in IT, so.
I'm glad you and technology are friends. Put in a good word for me.
Yeah. She's terrible with technology.
Not terrible. Just not great.
Yeah.
Nah.
Let's see. Terry says chicken is more fun to eat by hand, so thighs, wings, legs are popular for that. If you eat a lame chicken breast, you usually need a fork and knife. It don't bother. Yeah,
I personally just feel like I've always been more of a dark meat type of person.
Yeah.
Like when we have turkey and everything in the fall, I like turkey more than just the fall, but whatever. Whenever we have turkey, I feel more like the white meat can just be thrown in the garbage.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I'm just a dark meat person.
Yeah, let's see.
Chicken breasts are not appealing.
Yeah, so Risa says she normally gets the chicken breast for the dogs, mince it up and add it to their food along with chicken liver, fruit, and veg.
It's just not appealing.
There's a weird texture to it too. It's like
it's just dry.
Yeah.
No matter how moist it is, it's still dry in comparison.
Yeah, it's like Risa says, I don't eat them, too dry for my taste. I mean, I don't mind like the tenderloin part of it, like the part that's under the breast or whatever. I don't mind that. But they usually want too much money for that.
It's just still so dry.
And Andy says, Chandra, I didn't mean to upset you, and I admire you that and I admire you that you are doing it. I just would not be able to handle that many people in our house after being empty nesters for 5 years.
Oh, you didn't upset me, Andy. No, but I feel like for us, we have this to give. We have this ability to help. We should do it.
It's going to annoy the shit out of us.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a daily learn to shut your mouth episode. But
all the personalities swirling.
Yeah.
But at least like the boys sleep during the day.
Yeah, because they work night-ish.
They'll be making sure that they're quiet at night when they get home. Everyone's going to have things that they do. And hopefully we don't have to remind them. We don't have to be the calendars.
Oof.
I mean, like the boys have gotten in a routine. They know when to mow the grass. They know when to take the trash down.
Yeah.
And there's things that I'll remind, like, hey, can you, I'm going to bed and I just switch the laundry. When you get home, will you check it and switch it if it's dry or restart the dryer if it's not? And then switch it. And they're usually pretty good about that. Or if I ask them, hey, can you take care of some stuff downstairs? We're going to bed.
Well, and our youngest, he stood up for me the other day because the son-in-law moving back in said something to the effect of moving back in, I'm going to get asked to do a whole bunch of stuff. Your mom's going to ask me to do a whole bunch of stuff. And our youngest goes, yeah, so like you're going to be living here. You should be helping. And I told him I was really thankful and proud of him for saying stuff like that. Cause I think, it's definitely a thing that can happen is they get complacent with where they are and they don't feel like they should have to help or they should have to, be a part of X, Y, or Z. And that's part of the generational thing. And it's part of, just being stupid and in their 20s. But, being a part of the family means that you have to pull your weight.
Yeah. Let's see. And then Reese's talking about the spotted lanternflies have returned, and they're horrid. We don't see them, a lot of them in the house, but they stick themselves to the building at work, and they land when you start. That's like when I worked at this office building for a while, and the color of the building and one side that was the entrance that we came in and out of was the side that ladybugs really like.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a side of a building and a certain size of building, certain color of building ladybugs are attracted to. And I found this out because anytime you'd walk in the building, you'd have like 5 ladybugs on your back. Or you'd have ladybugs on you. And it's like such a weird thing. Like, it's like, oh, you got a ladybug, make a wish. Not when you're being swarmed by ladybugs.
Yeah.
It's weird because they were just so, like, you just look out the window, they'd be all over the windows. So
that's weird.
Yeah. That was over by the pyramids, that building that was above the Costco.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oof,
Put a chore chart on the fridge. Yeah, that's not that. They're too old for that.
They are too old for that.
Too dumb for that.
What it's going to be is you put this in your phone, in your calendar, and this is just what you do.
Yeah. Sean says that's good thinking. Sacrifice the kids to the murder hornets.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll keep the baby and the little one, and the kids can deal with the murder hornets.
Terry's telling Sherry that they had these the Palo Verde beetles.
Ew.
Let's see, they're the size of a car and they fly. This year is lots of crickets.
Gross. I am not a fan of bugs.
And Terry likes praying mantises.
Oh, I do like praying mantis. They're cool. But I am not a fan of bugs. As a matter of fact, that's one of the reasons I won't work in an emergency room. Because if you come in and you got bugs in your wound, I'm out. We're done. You picked the wrong nurse. I will not be helping you.
So picky.
So there's only a few things. One is bugs.
Eyes.
The other is eyeballs.
And children.
I won't deal with emergencies with children.
I saw a story the other day about a kid.
Nope.
I didn't tell you about it just because I was like,
yep.
I wanted to punch my phone.
I'm good. I don't have the mental capacity for it. I don't have the space for it. I don't have the barricades up to protect myself mentally when it comes to children that are hurt.
I never understood that until recently, because we would watch Stranger Things. I mean, now certain things don't bother me like they would bother her, but there are certain things and stories where I will just start crying or whatever in a movie or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I can't handle this. But I usually just get through it. But like, there's just things like we don't watch horror movies much anymore. And they've got to have like a tinge of funniness to them. They got to be like a little bit of funny.
Yeah.
There's just like there's a whole bunch of there's a whole subgenre of horror movies now that they're like basically trying to make them as scary as humanly possible and as real as humanly possible. And I'm like, that's just not. I don't need that in my life. Us. Reality's messed up. I need escapism.
Right.
And
yeah, those are the things I will never work in an ED because. Bugs in your wound. If your eyeball pops out of your face, I'm going to turn around and get somebody else to help you.
Yeah, just spin it.
I'm just going to be like, hold that thought. And I'm out. And somebody else is going to have to take care of it for you. And if something is wrong with a kid, first off, I'm probably going to have a mental breakdown. And second, I'm going to kill whomever or whatever caused the damage.
Yeah.
So I don't have the mental wherewithal to do that. Thank God there are people who can, because I don't have it.
Yeah.
And I know that as a limitation for myself. I learned that a long time ago.
To not so nonchalantly change the subject.
Yes.
Risa says, at certain times of the year, ladybugs stick to the house and they come in when it's cold. I will see them on my window in the living room and on the ceiling in the living room. They are cute. They're cute until they're swarming you.
Yeah.
Then they don't hurt you, but they're just annoying.
Yeah. Well, it's just weird to always have something on you.
Look who it is.
Booby goats. And them goats with the boobies.
Just
apple bottom jeans and the goats with the boobies.
I don't even know you anymore, but I love it. It's like I tried to get on one live stream. I tried to get Amy to say boobies, and she just wouldn't do it. Andy was like, "Was it Andy? Somebody." I think it was Andy was on the live, and she goes, "Boobies." I was like, "Yes." Oh, Aaron, we love you. Thank you for being here, Aaron.
We are giant children.
We really are. I'm like 11.
Yeah. I know.
If my kids had blood, I always sent them to the husband.
Yeah, when the girl was 8 months,
something like that, yeah.
She got bit by a dog in the face. I was as calm as I think I've ever been in an emergency. And I had to be, because mommy and daddy were not calm. And I had to make her be okay. And so we walked around the emergency room and patted it softly with a tissue. And we talked to the nurses and we waved hi to people and we looked at fun things on the wall. And like, you do what you have to do when you have to do it. But in all honesty, that's something I can do for my kids. It's something I can do for my grandkids. I don't know that I would have the mental capacity to do that for others. I don't know that I would have the mental capacity to be able to manage that on a daily basis.
Even if you were in that situation, you were a nurse in that situation, you wouldn't even have the time to do that for a kid that's there, right?
Right.
I mean, you would want to, but yeah.
But the big thing would be, that's one instance in one day. Now, if that's something you saw repeatedly over and over and over again in varying degrees of bad, I mean, I don't know that I could do that. I don't think I could do that.
We had a friend that was working at the Children's Hospital, and he was armed security, and he had to quit.
Yeah.
He couldn't handle it anymore. I mean, he's got 4 kids of his own.
Yeah. My aunt was a mental health nurse.
Tried to get away from this subject.
I'm sorry. My aunt was a mental health nurse who worked with abused children. And I'm so thankful there are people like her who have the mental fortitude to be able to help those kids get through all of the horrible things that they've been through so that they can be alive and be human and be able to be capable of living lives where it isn't all bad. On the same token, I know I'm not that person. I know I can't handle that. So
Risa says, I got the day off from work. My plan is to try a couple YouTube recipes, do some cleaning, try and relax a little, going to sit outside in the sun. Hopefully we'll record a video for my channel. Do it!
Do it!
And Sean says,
you can do it.
Sean says, I saw on Facebook where a guy carjacked a car. So if you carjack a car, you're taking the car away from somebody else, right? In theory, this is the idea here. But there was a 3-year-old in the back seat. He returned the car and cussed the lady out for being negligent. If you forcibly took that car from somebody, and I don't know, I mean,
they're both idiots.
Yeah.
Like, let's just start there.
Yeah, I mean,
they're both idiots.
But it's easy to armchair quarterback that situation and go, if it was happened to me, you obviously I need my baby. I need my kid. Mm-hmm. I don't care about the car. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things about leasing is you don't really have to care about it. Well, you got to care. You got to take care of it. But at the end of it, if somebody wants the car, you just give them the car.
You don't know the situation as to why there was a 3-year-old in the car in the first place. Was she getting into the car? She put the 3-year-old in. She's going around the other side and, whatever.
You have to do whatever you have to do. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Was she single mom and she had to put the kid in the car and then, oh shit, I forgot something. Feasibly, you can't take the child back out of the car if the car's in your own driveway to go get whatever. There's a lot of reasons why a 3-year-old might be in a car for a second. Now, is it appropriate? No. Is it something you should do on the regular? No.
But real world is real life and things happen. And, it's you don't expect, especially if you're on your own damn driveway.
Right. And I don't know where they were. I mean, if you're at a gas station, you left your 3-year-old in the car, well, then you are just a big dummy. You know.
Sherry says they can't fly straight. They have not seen too many this year, but the crickets are plentiful. Yeah.
We have a lot of both.
Erin's laughing and she's giving you the hearts. I love Auntie so much. It was me. I love boobies. Me too. I'm very fond of those things. Those are pretty cool things.
I cannot.
Erin says, I love going on live streams and the host has to say booby. I love it.
I love that we're all the same age mentally.
We're like 11. Mm-hmm. Boobies.
Such dorks. I
mean, it's like something like, it's like, you know, you can get such joy out of something so natural.
Yeah, I know. Don't hand him a calculator. He'll spell boobies.
So?
It'll be the first thing he does.
I don't hear anybody complaining. Let's see. Terry Sue says, Erin, I'm sure there is a method to the booby goat madness. Plus, your channel can be anything since it's non-specific and the name is interesting to find out what it's all about. Yeah, I mean, there is a certain kind of goat that's called a booby goat, right?
I don't know.
What? Let me see. What is it? Let's see.
My tummy is talking a lot today.
Well, the first thing that comes up under booby goat is her channel.
Yes.
Organic baby formula, Bobby goat formula, Bobby, our best baby formula. So I don't know if booby goats are actually a thing. Here's something. It's Instagram, boobies, goats, funny animal. I don't know. I thought booby goats were an actual thing. Like, I guess booby goats. Oh, this is her channel. That's her avatar right there, the white goat.
Yeah. Is there a goat called a booby? Oop, that's not how you spell it. No, there is no official breed of goat called a booby goat. The term booby is sometimes used informally in goat keeping circles for a device or in a jocular way, but it does not denote a specific breed.
Let's see. Risa.
You're even on this AI. A YouTube channel named Booby Goats appears to produce entertaining content related to goats.
AI knows your name. You're famous, Erin. Yes. I'm continuing the series on summer sides. I also have another idea for next week. All right.
Nice.
Sherry wants to know, what kind of nurse are you?
I was a med-surg nurse for 10 years. And now I have been doing ICU for the past 3 years.
Yes.
And I work bedside in a hospital.
And so Erin says, when I lived in the city, I always buckled in the bigger kids, ran in the house, grabbed the baby. You run out and buckle them all in, trying not to leave children alone in the car. Yeah. But if you've got 10 kids.
Well, I mean, there is that.
I mean,
I only had 3 and I was outnumbered and I was like, you know.
Yeah, it's just insanity.
You do what you got to do.
Yes, Susan Powder. Stop the insanity.
Yes.
And then our kid and our middle child comes over looking like, what was his name? Because I remembered it, but when he put the hat on, he had his hair going out the back of the hat.
Andre Agassi?
No.
I thought he looked like Andre Agassi.
He was one of the infomercial guys.
Oh, yes. Hang on.
He didn't get it. But Tony Little?
Tony, I think it was Tony Little.
Yeah, look up Tony Little.
Well, that's not it. Here he is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
With the hat and the hair.
Yes.
And like on the...
There he is.
Hold on, let me put this back up so we can see. Make sure. There we go.
There he is, Tony Little, the dude with the hat and the hair.
Our middle boy looked just like him.
And the tennis shoes and the shorts and the whole jazz.
Yeah.
Selling the Gazelle glider.
Terry Sue says, the old days, the kids stayed in the car a lot. I guess that's why it's against the law now. I remember honking the horn.
I was left in the car all the time.
Oh,
to be fair, I was left a lot of places, but I was left in the car a lot.
Terry says, a nanny goat would be a booby goat, I think.
Yes.
And then Aaron's like, 58008.
Yes.
I love it. I love it here. Aaron says, I just joined the live, and the first thing I hear Dustin said was boobies.
That does make his day.
I love
Boobies
it.
make his day in any form.
Well, there's a booby bird, and there's a tit mouse. I'm just
Lake Titicaca.
I mean, where's Jaheel?
Where is Jaheel? He hasn't been here in a hot minute.
I know. I need to yell at him on Instagram.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, Helen joined Instagram. We've been talking on Instagram because I was like, how do you talk to somebody who lives in the UK?
Yeah.
And it's weird that like YouTube doesn't have like a chat feature to connect with other creators, right?
Yeah.
And even YouTube uses X to communicate with you instead of being able to communicate through YouTube.
That's weird.
It's like if you have an issue on YouTube, you have to go over to Twitter and then do like the Twitter. There's like a Twitter trifecta of like YouTube and all like different names or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Holly has a question.
Okay.
Chandra, do you have thyroid issues? Due to a goiter, I had half of mine removed, and I'm in T3. I'm on T3 and T4 meds. She doesn't know.
I am the world's worst patient.
Yes.
Because I do not go to the doctor. I am going to schedule an appointment, but I have not been to the doctor. Well, I had all the things I needed to have drawn for this job 3 years ago.
Which is the bare minimum.
Yeah, I did all the titers and all that stuff. My best friend is a manager at a med check type of place. And so if I get sick, I just go see her, and one of her providers will give, if I need antibiotics, whatever. So I'm very self-sufficient when it comes to caring for myself.
Right,
and I do not see the doctor. But that's going to change. I am going to go to the doctor and see what they have to say. But I've been your
labs, and we're going to order all the things.
I've been tested in the past, and I've been told that everything is normal. You are fine. You are just fat. So it kind of, and I know I work in the medical field. I work with doctors all the time, and it leaves you disheartened, to say the least, especially when you work on an ICU, because you get patients who are legitimately sick and they are needing to be put on things like ventilators because they have the diagnosis of TFTB, which is terrible. And I don't want to be in that category and you hope that you're never that person, but you hear other people say it and they say things, you're too fat to breathe and you have to be put on a ventilator. And I don't want to be that person. And I don't want to be the person that makes fun of that person. And I don't want to be in that situation where I have to get intubated at some point because I'm just too big to support my own airway. But no, I've not had any tests done in a long time other than what I had to have to get this job. And I get my flu shots every year and all that stuff. And as far as the standardized testing for thyroid issues, I've been told I have nothing wrong with mine. It's been many years since I've gone back because there's nothing wrong with you. You're just fat.
And my thing is, so she has a laundry list of things that bother her. And I had been on a mission. I was on a mission. I was listening to hours and hours of podcasts and watching any YouTube video that I can find. And I finally was listening to a podcast probably 6 or 8 years ago with Amy Berger. If you're not familiar with Amy Berger, she's amazing. She has her own YouTube channel, Keto Without the Crazy. I think she is far better, and I think she should be a bigger part of our community. I'd like to be able to get her on my channel one of these days. I'd like to see her on more people's channels. I think she's just a kind of like an actual like, common sense type person that, like kind of how I try to do with taking the scary away from things, or taking like people panic about stuff and how do you relieve that. You look into it and you make a decision based on all of the information. But she broke down with and I probably could never ever find this podcast again, but she went down this laundry list and everything was a tick box that she has. Tired all the time, cold all the time, all these things that she has, like not able to lose weight, no matter what kind of diet or no matter what she's doing, no matter like whether it's all meat or, with caloric deficit, whatever you want to say, nothing has worked. And I mean, she feels fine and she enjoys living in a ketogenic lifestyle, but it's not causing any.
Enjoys is strong, but I definitely.
You feel good.
I feel good. Yeah.
But she's still cold all the time. Like if she had her way, it would be 85 degrees in here right now.
It would.
And I would leave. I would go find somebody else.
I'm in my blankie because I'm cold. And I have my slippers on, sweatpants, a sweatshirt, and another shirt under it. So.
Yeah.
And I'm still.
She went down that laundry list of things, and I'm like, okay, we need to go get your stuff checked. And it's been, I bring this up about at least every other month.
At least.
Why? Why do I bring this up?
Because you'd like to irritate me.
Is that the reason?
Yeah.
I mean, partially. Yeah. I mean, you're probably not wrong there.
I mean, I have resigned myself to being somebody who is unfixable because there's nothing actually wrong.
That's so frustrating. Because
it's fine. We are not here to talk about my issues.
We are. This is literally about you. Today is about
you. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be.
It is all about you, babe. It's about you, babe.
Anyway.
I would push you down, but Sherry said, oh wow, I see you. I bet that can be rough. I get all the stories. I get all the she dumps on me, and I'm like,
it can be hard. There are things that I genuinely dislike about it. However, there isn't a job out there where there aren't things you don't like. There are a lot of things that I have been able to do that help me to feel very good in my position. I've been able to help a lot of people have a good death. And what I mean by that is not continuing, torture. Essentially, there's a point where medical intervention is no longer going to save you. So what we're doing equates to torture. So being able to allow people to peacefully pass and let their body do the job that it's meant to do.
It's like when families don't want to give a DNR.
Yeah.
Or they don't want to sign a DNR. They want you to do everything, and they're like 98 years old.
Yeah. So I've been able.
Yes. It's like you understand the idea
that life is terminal.
Well, I mean, you understand you want grandma and grandpa or mom or dad or whatever to be there forever, and and you think you're doing the right thing by doing everything, but there's a point where it's just cruel.
Yeah. So I've been able to help some people get a good death. I have been able to help some people return back to the land of the living. And I mean, come from very, very bleak, bad outcomes. You see things that you're like, oh, I don't know how they're going to get through this. And you do all of the things. And I've actually seen, people who we had resigned to die. Like there's nothing more we can do for them. We're doing all of the things, all of the bells, all of the whistles, everything is running, all of it's happening. And they are literally standing at the doorway ready to go. And you come back in the next week for your next shift and they're like, oh, they're not here anymore. Did they pass? And everyone's like, no, you should have seen it. They turned around. They've been off the vent. They're on another floor now. They're actually getting better. They come back up to see you. And you're like, that's awesome. that is amazing.
We were talking about something. So everyone's been talking about that methylene blue.
Yeah.
Is that what we were talking about?
Yeah.
And that's the fourth presser?
Yeah.
So to explain that to them, what a presser is.
A presser is a medication that artificially maintains your blood pressure for you when you cannot. It is considered a form of life support. So if you become septic, have an infection, there are many other reasons, and some, you may be in hemorrhagic shock. There are many reasons why you would need a presser. Okay. A presser essentially constricts the blood flow to your extremities, pushes the blood to the center of your body, and helps your body to maintain your important organs, right? So kidneys, lungs, brain, liver, all of that. Okay. We use these for patients who are very, very sick. If you need to be put on a presser, you are not in a good shape. Now, there are only 4 technically. There are some other special things we can do, but essentially when we get to the point where we're using methylene blue, then you're in a real bad type of way, and you're probably about to meet whatever person you believe in is at the other side. So methylene blue is utilized as the 4th presser. So there's Levophed, there is vasopressin, epinephrine, and methylene blue. I feel like that's
4.
Yeah, that is 4. But there are other things we can utilize too. And there are other things that are technically pressers, but they also get utilized in the same basic concept.
So because we were talking about this, because there's a lot of influencers out there who are taking methylene blue as a supplement type product.
And I don't know what that does or how that helps in what way.
Yeah. But it was just weird because I was like, oh, methylene blue. Because there was we were talking about something else blue, weren't we? And I was like, oh, methylene blue. And you were like, no. And you were like, that's a presser. And I'm like, well, what's a presser?
Yeah.
And we had this long conversation. And I figure, why not share it with all of you? Let's see. Reese says, my sister and I were always left in the car. We fought like crazy. Mom wanted to contain us. I always wanted to get the kids a get along shirt.
What?
A get along shirt.
Yes.
Where you put both kids who are fighting in one shirt. And it just says, my get along shirt. You have to get along because you're in the same shirt. Sherry was born in a car. I mean, how many of us were conceived there? The drive-in. What movie was playing when you were conceived?
Nice.
Let's see. Terry says, funny how we call our kids goats related. Yeah. Helen is 5'2". She's teeny tiny.
Yes, pocket-sized for your convenience.
I love we've been kind of like on a weird. Well, I watched like the UK stuff. I was watching Black Doves. I was watching Mobland. Mobland is so good. Oh my goodness, that's a good show. If you haven't watched Mobland, it's so good. Then we just watched Dairy Girls.
That was cute.
It was Londonderry.
Oh, see, I knew I was forgetting other things. The other things that they can utilize medication-wise is dobutamine and phenylephrine. But it all depends on what you need. But typically we get up to the 4th presser, and the 5th presser is Jesus.
She's been wanting to say that all day.
The 5th presser is Jesus.
Aaron says, I get it, Chandra. I hate going to the doctor, too. Having so many kids, I'm always at the doctor for checkups. Last time I got my blood drawn almost 3 years ago. And Holly says, Chandra, I feel the same. After 20 years as an LPN, when my A1C hit diabetic range, my nursing experience with non-compliance diabetics is my why for this lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. And I hate that if you disagree with your doctor, you're labeled as non-compliant.
Well, my thing is the sad thing about this whole thing of non-compliance is most of the time people are given a plan. You become pre-diabetic, you become diabetic, and you follow the plan the doctor gives you.
And if you still call you non-compliant
because you don't get better.
Yeah.
Because they're giving you bad information. They're eat whole grain cereals, eat oatmeal in the morning, and then follow that. oatmeal with syrup on it, or oatmeal with honey.
Because the diabetic diet is not designed to stop you from having diabetes.
In theory, I would like to think that they are doing it out of a place of the right thing, but it's like,
well,
it's
I
hard
think the
to.
doctors are, because
Yeah.
they're utilizing the information that they have available.
Right.
And the education that they have received.
Helen says, I need another 90 pounds to lose. Need to get mining more. I've ordered a weighted vest to wear when I go for walks. And just getting out for us and going for a walk would probably be beneficial to us. We've talked about it. We've talked about going to the gym. We've talked about going and playing pickleball more during the week.
I love pickleball. I'll play pickleball.
You were a pickleball.
It's fun.
Let's see. Helen says, I thought the blue pill did something else.
So,
yeah.
That blue pill is Viagra.
And there's Cialis.
Cialis. I watched one of the videos that I watch on reselling, and one of the ladies found a beautiful suit jacket, and she pulled a baggie out of the pocket, and she was like, I was going to wait and do it for you guys because I figured we could all guess together what we think is in this baggie. I felt a baggie in the pocket, but I didn't want to take it out until, so she pulled out the baggie on her show or on her episode, video, whatever. And it was a baggie full of Viagra, the generic, but Viagra. And she was like, this guy must have loved to party.
If you have something lasting more than 4 hours, call a friend.
Last more than 4 hours, go to an emergency room, or you could potentially lose the thing in between your legs.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Sherry says, sounds very admirable.
Oh,
your stuff. Yeah.
Thanks. It's just, I do it. I enjoy it. And I really hope that when it comes to be my time to be there as a patient, there are nurses who are competent and capable and caring.
And being able to articulate to the patient's parents or family why things need, like how to do things, what's appropriate. I think that's very important, but I know there's probably limitations to how and what you can explain.
There are. And I feel, because like everybody wants the nurse to tell them the answer. And it's like, if you just had a test done, I can't give you the results of that test because I'm not a doctor. All I can do is read the report, but reading the report isn't going to give you the answers you want because I don't necessarily know all of the implications of said report. And me telling you that is above and out of my scope, which means
you can lose your license.
I could lose my license. So like I had a patient recently who had an exam, and the wife said, well, what did that look like? What did the exam show? And I said, it's really, I can't discuss that with you. That is above my pay grade. That's something I can't, I'm not a doctor. I'm not allowed to. But the doctor should come around a little bit and talk with you about that because, the results weren't great. But this isn't, that's not something that I can do. It's not in my scope.
Now, if you're in there with the doctor and the doctor gives them the information, are you then able to go back and kind of regurgitate what the doctor just said in a more digestible fashion?
Yes. And I'm allowed to answer questions thereafter. It's just giving said results I'm not allowed to do. I'm allowed to, because everybody now has like my chart. So if you see your labs and you want to ask me about your labs or your husband's labs or your kids' labs or whatever, and you say, what does this mean? I can give you a generalized, this is what this means. If we are, if your patient is in a situation where things look grim and you say, so the doctor said this, this, and this, what does that mean? And I can, essentially regurgitate it back into plain English. And also, oftentimes I get asked, well, what
boobies.
Also, I often get asked, what would you do in this situation? That's a question I'm not allowed to answer either. What I say is, this is the situation. This is what this path looks like, and this is what this path looks like. So if we do X, Y, and Z, this could be our outcome. if we do X, Y, and Z, this could be our outcome. If we do X, Y, and Z, this could be our outcome. So it's more of presenting, these are our choices. This is what potentially could happen. And often I'm telling people, I don't have the answer. I don't know. And if your patient is ill to the point where they are going to pass away, I'm basically there to say things don't look good right now, but I don't know what we're going to look like tomorrow. And I usually go through things with them that they've already talked with the doctor, and I'll say, these few things are encouraging. This is not encouraging. Sometimes it's a lack of progress being made. Sometimes it's, we're making baby steps. So baby steps are good. Any steps are good steps when you're in that situation where you're in an ICU. But I'm, like I said, I count myself as very blessed to be able to work in an environment that I enjoy, where I'm constantly learning, where I'm able to provide care for patients and watch miracles happen, and where I'm also able to allow a natural process to take place when it's necessary. So I'm very blessed.
Terry says methylene blue is a synthetic dye and medication primarily used to treat
methylglobinemia,
a blood disorder that affects oxygen delivery and has various other medical applications. And she says, I like asking co-pilot questions.
Yeah.
ChatGPT and AI things, that's the future, folks. Like it or not, it's not going anywhere.
And
you learn to utilize it in your day-to-day life because it's going to be the thing.
And when it's used in the ICU, it's likely a very different dosage and a different route.
Oh, Helen says Dairy Girls, they're funny. She's like, my husband is from Northern Ireland. It was kind of, it was funny. It took us like an episode to figure out what they were saying.
It took you an episode. I caught it.
Well, you watched it before me.
It's because I'm better than you.
That's true. You're crackers.
I am crackers.
I mean, that means something much different here in the U.S.
Yes, it does.
But I like that show. I like English humor. I like. We were watching that last Witch Hunter or the whatever it was with Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
And the lady that was in Game of Thrones, and then she's also, she's like, I think she's got to be Irish.
I think she is.
I don't think she, because I've got a friend I do live streams with. He's Scottish. He loves goats for a different reason. No, it's sheep. He loves sheep. My bad. Jokes, folks. But yeah. Risa says, Chandra, I also have not been to the doctor in years. Hubby keeps on bothering me to go and have labs done, and he is paying for insurance, and I never go. I feel fine.
Yeah. And I know, so that's where, and I know better, but that's where also we have in the ICU, we have patients who they're fine. They were great. They were out mowing their lawn just 2 days ago. I don't understand how they're in this situation. They never go to the doctor. That doesn't mean you don't have problems. It doesn't mean you don't have issues. It doesn't mean you don't have things that should be being watched or kept an eye on. And I'm not promoting, not going to the doctor by any means. Going and having a physician that you trust, that you can talk to, that's willing to do labs that you want done, that can help you determine where to go medically and what needs to happen, I think is a wonderful thing to have. And I think on top of that, when the shit hits the fan, because we're all going to die at some point, when something bad does happen, it helps your loved ones to go, you know what, that is something that they've had, that they've been dealing with, and the doctor has seen it, and and it's not just out of the blue. Because what we have happen very frequently, at least in ICU, and I know everything is perspective, right? And I'm not saying anybody's going to go to the ICU in the next month, but in the ICU world, we see a lot of, Well, I just don't understand why they're so sick. They weren't sick 2 days ago, and it's like, but here we are now. This is where we are now. And they haven't been to the doctor in 30 years and they have things that haven't been diagnosed doesn't mean that they're not there. I see patients who have COPD. Well, they never cough. They're not sick. Okay, but they've been smoking a pack a day for 40 years. What do you think's going to happen? Or they lived with a smoker for 40 years. Or they,
worked at a factory.
Yeah, whatever. Or they have coronary artery disease. Well, they've never had any heart problems before.
Right.
Okay, well, they do now. And they probably have had them before. They've just probably not been diagnosed because they haven't been to the doctor in 30 years. So again, I am not a proponent of not going to the doctor. I think that everybody should have a trusted physician, somebody that they feel they can confide in, somebody they feel can help them figure out what if something is going wrong or on, and even just to keep track of where are you, let's stay the course. They're hard to find. A physician you can trust is few and far between, but they are findable.
Terry says, I'm compliant while in the doctor's office and non-compliant to the usual instructions. That's the thing, is like, if you go in and you understand what your situation is and you go get your labs, and then your doctor gives you the standard guidelines and instructions, and you go and you follow different things and you have good outcomes, if you don't tell them that you're doing keto, carnivore, proper human diet, whatever, they're going to assume that what they told you to do worked.
Well,
or if you do correct your issues and then you tell them you're doing keto, carnivore, and they're like, well, that's dangerous. It worked, didn't it? But still.
I think the thing is that, I don't believe that doctors are out to be bad guys.
Right.
I think they're there to be helpful within their scope. And I think that they have the information that they believe to be true, that they have been taught, that has been researched, whether or not the research has been good, bad, or ugly. It's been published research. So
good, bad,
ugly.
Yeah.
So they're dealing with what they have available to them. The problem I find is that being labeled non-compliant is unfair, I think, to most patients. For instance, our daughter being pregnant, she's overweight to start. Okay. They suggested she take aspirin, take a baby aspirin every single day through her pregnancy, starting before 20 weeks, because it can prevent placenta preeclampsia.
Yeah.
And I'm sure maybe it can. That's what the research is currently showing. However, she has no other risk factors. She didn't have preeclampsia with the first child. She doesn't have high blood pressure. And fair enough, preeclampsia, has certain risk factors, but can often happen without any of the risk factors. However, we discussed it and she didn't want to take it because I think that this is a relatively new treatment starting, I think, after like 2020. And I feel that, at least in my perspective, yes, there is research, but I don't know that there's enough research for that to be broadly utilized across the entire spectrum of pregnant women. And one risk factor isn't necessarily what I would qualify as enough to treat. Again, I don't work OBGYN. I don't want to discourage people from seeking treatment and utilizing the treatment that they've been prescribed. And if you feel that that is something that you and your doctor have discussed and it's right for you, then that is right for you. For my daughter, she didn't feel it was right for her. And I support her decision that taking aspirin daily while she's pregnant probably presented a bigger risk than a reward for her in particular. So we opted not to do it. And I'm sure in her chart, it says that she's non-compliant.
Carrie's in the house.
Hi, Carrie. Sorry to go on and on and on.
Oh no, it's Dustin and Chandra.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no,
Mr. Bill. Oh, I love it. We're on the same page.
Yes.
It's full of scribbles and weird, crazy writing, but it's the same page. Carrie says, "What do you call a cherry popsicle that tells jokes?" A punsicle.
Nice.
Let's see. Helen says, "Pleased to meet you, Chandra. Anyway, you're both lovely people."
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. I mean, we're weird. Terry says, "Chandra, do they use the red light therapy on anyone in the hospital?"
They don't utilize that in my hospital in my area. Whether or not they do in other areas, I do not know. In my area, we do not.
It seems okay. So a friend of mine had posted something the other day about holistic medicine, and for a long time, I was of the impression that the idea that holistic medicine was woo woo and snake oil, and I have turned a leaf on that, or if you will, or whatever. I have a different outlook on holistic medicine. That holistic medicine or holistic therapies. Now, do I think red light therapy is doing something? I don't know. There's a lot of things that I just kind of wonder because the lines between holistic and snake oil is such a blurry thing. It's so very easy to say, oh, this does this and this does this, because there's a lot of things out there that, the FDA doesn't have to be involved in. And even things the FDA is involved in doesn't necessarily give you the truth. So I think we're kind of flying blind to a lot of stuff. Like, does red light therapy actually work? I mean, even if it's working for you, is it actually the red light therapy, or is it, you're continued on with a carnivore diet or keto diet or whatever, and you're just eating better. So over time, you're going to get better without the red light therapy anyway. Because I've seen like red light therapy machines that are costing like $800-900, and I'm like, oh, and as Helen says in a little bit, she goes, health is wealth. But I'm just curious to that kind of stuff. Like I know, like drinking elderberry syrup can do whatever for you, or just like a lot of the old stuff from. I mean, that we lived for millions of years, so I'm sure we figured some stuff out,
right?
And I'm sure that we knew the right thing to do for the right stuff to a certain point. And I think that when it comes to current like pharmaceuticals versus actual like trauma care has leaps and bounds. Like they are able to do a lot of things with trauma care that they were not able to do ever in history of the world. But when I think about pharmaceuticals, it's almost up there with the like holistic medicine to me in a weird way, because yeah, it does some things, but it doesn't always do what they say it's supposed to do. Or they're like, we were talking about Viagra. Viagra works because they were testing a blood pressure medication, wasn't it?
That's what it is.
Yeah,
blood pressure medication.
That just happens to increase the pressure in the nether regions.
It does, but while it does that, it drops your pressure in other places.
Yeah.
So that's why they say, if you feel dizzy or lightheaded, stop taking it.
Yeah.
Because it can drop your pressure and you can pass out. Viagra is actually, I'm sure that they've adjusted things now, so doses are probably more sculpted to what your body weight can handle and whatnot.
Yeah.
But when it first came out, like you could drop dead from taking Viagra if your blood pressure tanks.
Yeah.
You don't have enough pressure to get the blood to the brain. And I mean this one, not that
one. I mean, this one is more fun. He has better ideas.
I don't think he does.
Anyway, Helen's asking, when do you do the course with Dr. Barry? Dustin, tell us about it. It sounds very good. So it kicks off September the 1st. There's like an hour-long thing on September 1st, and then I think it's going to be every Friday for 6 months. I think that's what's going to be the plan. There's office hours with the different teachers. Like we're dealing with Kim Howerton, Dr. Barry, Nisha Barry, I think Alyssa, somebody, I can't remember all the names. there is like it's all built around Mighty Networks and Zoom. So I know there's going to be coursework, and then we're able to jump in and talk with the instructors during the office hours on Fridays. So it's not just busy work or at your own pace. There's going to be Zoom calls, and I imagine there'll probably be some lecturing going on. And it's supposed to be well rounded. It's supposed to be, proper human diet information, instruction, how to be an effective health coach, along with marketing, social media, and building a business, starting an LLC, those types of things. Because I mean, if you're going to drop the money to take a course like this, then it's really not meant just to help your friends and neighbors. I mean, while that is admirable, but I mean, to be honest, the course was, for the first inaugural course, it's $3,500 American. And I don't know if they're doing it with other countries. I think people in Canada could take the course, and I think there are some Canadian people in the course. There's supposed to be 200 people taking this inaugural run. We are the inaugural run, so I imagine there will be some hiccups. There will be some learning curves, some growing pains. But as far as I understand, that we will have further access even after the course, as things change, as things progress, as more knowledge is known. And I imagine we'll probably be involved with Dr. Barry and his network, because Dr. Barry really wanted to start this because he has millions of followers, and there's no way that he alone can help millions of followers. So, and if you understand like the state of the world, I mean, just from my perspective alone, the United States, there's 330 million people in the United States. And how many millions of those people are sick? There's 8 billion people in the world. How many billions of those people are sick? Mm-hmm. It's going to take, the doctors don't have time. Doctors have, 5 to 7 minutes every 6 months or once a year with a patient.
Yeah.
Depending if you're a special case, you may get to go in every 3 months, every 6 months, once a year, depending on what your labs look like and how worried they are. Otherwise, you just get your prescriptions and you go. Mm-hmm. But they don't have time to sit down and talk with you. So that's something that I'm excited about, is maybe being able to partner with the doctor's office. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do. We're going to learn. There's a lot of things that I have ideas, but I don't know what I don't know until the course is over. So I'm hoping to build on what they provide, what I paid for, get as much out of it as I can, because my goal is to help as many people as I can, doing YouTube, coach work, philanthropic stuff. I mean, just being there for you guys as creators as well is huge. Just, I mean, if you guys were around for my Sunday live, I talked about Barbara, I think Grandma Crochet. I'm gonna mess her name up, but she goes live all the time, and she was under the impression that she wasn't getting any watch hours. She would go back and look at her analytics, and she would see that she went live and she got a half hour, an hour, and I was like, well, that sounds like so. Just not to get off track too much, but so when you're going live, you're gaining watch hours for everybody who's watching for the length of time that they watch, and then once it goes from live into being VOD, or video on demand, or the replay, if you will, then it's going to calculate watch time separately, and that's what you're going to see after it goes into that. So the watch time from the live drops off that analytic, but it still shows up in your watch time hours overall. And she didn't realize that, and she was only been doing it for 90 days or so. So I was like, go into your analytics, look at your watch time, look at 365 days. She said it was 2.2 thousand hours. I was like, well, what does 90 days say? She goes, 2.2 thousand hours. And I said, I'm typing to her because I can't tell her because I'm in her chat. And I'm like, you've been doing this for 90 days. You have at the time, had less than 1,000 subscribers. She has now hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, which is absolutely incredible for 90 days. And she's hitting 2.2 thousand hours, but she didn't understand that. So having somebody take the time to explain that to her who understands it, because I have 6,300 subscribers and I'm only getting 2.9 thousand hours of watch time every 90 days, give or take. Now, and that's not a brag thing. That's just a reality. But she had no idea. She thought she wasn't getting any watch time at all. So she's super close to hitting that first monetization threshold after 90 days. So that tells me that if you put the work in, it is possible. But she goes live 2 days a week talking about this carnivore, keto, all that, her health journey. She's a bigger woman. She's having issues. She's very open and honest. Talks about her struggles being able to wipe herself. This is nothing that she hasn't talked about on her channel, so I don't feel inappropriate mentioning it. But then being able to walk, getting to the point where now she's able to walk to the end of her driveway and back, phenomenal. So I don't think she's left her house in a while. And so these things are so, such huge things. And I love being a part of this because that's exactly what this is about and what drives me to take a Dr. Berry course. And it's scary. It's scary to me because we've had a lot of conversations about it. And I don't know, hopefully I get out of it what I want to get out of it. Hopefully it turns into something not just helpful, but lucrative for us so I can take the stress off of her. And because all of this costs money and, little return, but over time that will grow. But yeah, I just want to say, that's just part of the process. Hopefully I'm able to turn it into something valuable to us as well as everybody else, because I do want to help people and I want to reach outside of our community, because I know that there are so many people out there like myself who are where I was then wanting to get where I am now. So hopefully I'm able to do that. It's a long-winded answer to your question. Hopefully I was able to answer that for you.
It is noon.
Yeah. So it's after 12. We've been doing this for 2 hours. Here we go. Here's the health is wealth. I'm going to kind of fly through these. We've got some more. We're not too far behind on our chats, but let's see. Doctors only want to get you on pills. Yeah. I mean, I don't think the doctors necessarily want that. I think that's just what they're trained to do.
Yeah, they're trained to treat your symptom.
Yeah. There's not a lot of holisticness going on with that, where they're not looking at the root cause, because that's just not what they're trained to do. And all that time at medical school, they're never looking at root cause. They're looking at symptoms. And that's just the way how the medical system is churning out these doctors. And hopefully when you get someone like Dr. Berry and you get Dr. Baker and Dr. Westman and Professor Noakes and all these amazing doctors involved, hopefully that paradigm can shift. But that's like trying to turn a cruise ship around in a swimming pool.
And so laws have changed and kickbacks are no longer acceptable. I can't say that there aren't doctors that don't get benefits from administering certain medications.
Oh, I'm sure they make deals.
But it's not as it was in the late 80s, early 90s, where everybody was prescribing OxyContin because they were getting,
ridiculous
kickbacks. It's not the same.
Well, same thing when Viagra came out, and there's
right.
whole movies about that.
Right. Stuff. Things have changed to where that's no longer the way that it works. Now, has it changed the way that doctors prescribe? Not necessarily, because again, a lot of them are being taught, instead of treating the whole person as a whole, they're being taught to deal with this symptom. You have this symptom, let's take care of it.
Yeah. And then with that symptom, you're taking a medication which causes other symptoms. So they're putting a Band-Aid on that. It's a snowball effect. Yeah. Let's see. And Carrie says that he's tried to use the VA, but they were not able to help him. I'm so sorry about that. Bud. And and Helen said it's a business at the end of the day. While this sentiment, to me, I think this sentiment's more appropriate for the pharmaceutical industry in of itself. And I know that trickles down into the physicians, but it's hard for me to look at doctors who go through medical school and put their lives on hold. Yes, they're going to make money, but being a doctor and what they go through to become a full-fledged, especially ER doctor or whatever, there's a lot of there's a lot of goodwill in that. A lot of them want to do good.
Yeah.
I think more so than it's like politicians, though. I think like you go into becoming a politician a lot of the times because you think you can change things, but the only thing that ends up changing in the process is you.
Yeah.
It's hard for me, and I understand the system is broken. I just have a hard time blaming the doctors. I know that they are part of the problem, but I don't think it's their fault. I think it's just institutionalized so bad that I don't know how we'll ever even fix it, no matter what knowledge we have.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the only way I think we'll be able to fix this is if we get to the point where we're helping people be healthy to avoid doctors in the first place. I think that's probably our only battle, to where it kind of caves the system in on of itself, sort of. But I don't even know if that's possible. And Aaron says they used to push Tylenol while pregnant for pain headaches, and I thought that was linked to ADD. I honestly don't know.
I don't know about it being linked to ADD. Tylenol, they've been utilizing for pregnant women because it's the one that has the least amount of side effects. If you have an ache or a pain, Tylenol is the safest thing you can take. It's not because it's good. They don't want you taking Tylenol every day or every 4 hours or every 6 hours, or, but it's what has thus far been proven as the safest medication to take while you're pregnant.
Even over ibuprofen, which ibuprofen has the least.
Ibuprofen has bleeding risk.
Okay.
And when you're pregnant,
yeah,
that's a bad thing.
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, because I know with issues with, you can take too much time, Tylenol, but it's harder to do that with ibuprofen. Yeah.
True. Ibuprofen can cause bleeding.
And Helen is asking, what's the opinion on Ozempic? These celebs are far. I look at Ozempic, it is not optimal. It's to me similar to bariatric surgery. Would I recommend somebody do it? No. Is it a tool that someone may think they need if they're desperate? Yes. Do people abuse it and utilize it in a fashion that they don't need to? Of course. Do people look at it as a simple solution? Yes. But as somebody who has been 400 plus pounds, there's no solution that's easy. There's no solution that doesn't take thought. Mm-hmm. Like the idea that you're going to go and get bariatric surgery, there's a lot of stuff in place with that, where you've got to go to classes, you've got to get your weight down to a certain. You still have
to change your diet.
Yes.
You still have to change your lifestyle. I think the big thing is that the medications, those GLP-1 medications, they do have very serious risks associated with them.
Yeah, especially at the high doses that they're giving now.
But so do the surgeries.
Yeah.
So does just staying where you are and not making a change. So I think the thing is that you have to weigh what is the best thing for you and what are you willing to go through to get to where you want to be. And I think that is what the question should be. So yes, people who need to lose 20 pounds are using Ozempic. Is that appropriate?
No.
Well, I wouldn't think so. If I only need to lose 20 pounds, I haven't been that way in many, many years. If I only need to lose 20 pounds, I probably would think that was ridiculous. At the same time, when I was a teenager and I felt like I needed to lose weight, I took mini thins. Tell me that isn't just as risky.
And also, we're not in a situation where our career is on the line if we're over by weight by 20 pounds.
Right.
Is your livelihood at risk? What, the question is how desperate are people?
Right.
Desperate people do desperate things. Right. And I think that's where the popularity of the surgeries come in. That's where these GLP-1s come in. I think we tend to lose sight of how desperate we feel or have felt before we found what started to work for us. Mm. And so just a little recap for Helen. I don't know if she knows my story, but in 2016, I was in the process of going to get a hernia repair. I had an umbilical hernia I needed to have repaired. And so I was also going in to start work on getting a CPAP machine for my severe sleep apnea. And I stepped on the scale of the doctor's office one day and I was 421 pounds. And I called her as I was coming out of the doctor's office, and we were talking. And it was like, what are we going to do? Because it's a both of us thing.
And
what are we going to do?
You were talking a lot about weight loss surgery.
Because that was the thing if that seems like it's the only thing, because I had tried going to the gym every day. I was eating the low fat. I was trying to eat the low calorie. And I did that before we ever even met. And I remember going to the gym for 6 months every day, lifting weights, eating better. And my thought, I even got to the point where I had stopped smoking, and I had lost only 30 pounds in 6 months, which sounds awesome, but it was so devastatingly discouraging to me because all that effort was for such a small amount. I was still fat. I wasn't getting skinny like I wanted to. And it's all about perception. And that's, I think, where these options are almost predatory to that desperation. Mm-hmm. Now, as I said, I think that they are a tool in a toolbox, but I think they're a last resort. If it comes down to not being here or using a GLP-1, not being here or having a weight loss surgery, not being here, going carnivore, not being here, going keto, these are all things that we as this community know that there are more tools in the toolbox than just GLP-1s and weight loss surgery. We know that there are all these things like carnivore diet, lion diet, there's paleo, keto, there's intermittent fasting. There's all these things that are more tools in the toolbox to help us get through. We understand how to work in satiety so that we can start getting past food addiction. There's all these things that we can build upon that are so vastly important, but at the same time, people who were where we were when we started don't yet know about these tools. And a lot of times, even when we talk about these tools fall on deaf ears because society pushes just the weight loss surgery, pushes just the GLP-1s. They demonize anything that's outside of the FDA regulations, as they often do, because that's their license, that's their livelihood on the line. So
even discussing the ketogenic diet has gotten a lot of physicians into trouble.
Yeah, Gary Fettke, Sean Baker, all these people have gotten in trouble over the years. Think about what Professor Noakes had to go on trial for months and months because he, on Twitter, said it wouldn't be a problem to wean a baby from breast milk to a ketogenic diet, or over where he's at in South Africa, a banting diet. That's what it's called, banting. But people had to come to his rescue, like Nina Teicholz, and all these people had to fly to South Africa to testify on his behalf. He ended up winning, but think how much money that cost him in the long run.
And what a reputation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, reputation. Well, I mean, for him, I think he came out cleaner on the other side.
But in that interim.
It was devastating, probably professionally.
And financially.
Yeah,
and people probably thought he was crazy.
Yeah.
But so I think the thing is with GLP-1s, etc., is that surgery, any of these things, you in the end have to make the decision for yourself. What risk is worth what amount of reward? Is anything great generalized across the board? Probably not. I'm sure there are people who aren't going to be able to maintain a ketogenic diet or be successful because they have an aversion to meat, or maybe they've had that Lyme disease, that tick-borne disease, where they actually have an allergy to meat.
Allegedly, that's just temporary, but
whatever. So, there are going to be reasons why certain things are appropriate for certain people and they're not for across the board. That's why they call it the art of medicine, because it isn't exact, because every body is different. Everybody's different and every body is different. Regardless of how we're all the same, we're also each one an individual. Each person is built differently. They can do 10, 20 different gallbladder surgeries with a, why is my brain totally not functioning right now? Utilizing the camera and a scope and not doing an invasive open surgery until they get to the one. And that one that they can't do is the one that has complications that has to now be an open surgery. So if you think about that, you never want to be the one person who is in the record book. You never want to be the one person who has something nobody else has seen before. However, every single body is different. So what's right for you may not be right for somebody else.
And there's some use cases for low dose GLP-1. There's use cases. I know that there's a growing community of people in our community, a growing subset of our community, I should say, like Adrian, who is an advocate for low dose GLP-1. I think Dr. Boz talks about this. Now,
it's often used for PCOS.
Yeah, I think, and those are, again, low dose versus high dose. I don't really know the difference, but I know that, again, it's another tool.
High dose is here. Low dose is here.
It's like Grover. There's near and far.
High means more. Low means less.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's why I pay her the big bucks. But anyway, but I don't know if that answered your question or not. But I mean,
or just,
but I mean, there's no
clear as mud.
There's no easy definitive answer. Yes, you should, and no, you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where and I'm an advocate for all the spectrum of a proper human diet, whether that is whole food, like not necessarily even low carb, but just whole foods. Is that potatoes, carrots, whatever? If that works for you and that's sustainable for you, let's do it. She'll be back. Maybe.
Actually, probably not. Love you guys. Bye.
All right. I'll be finishing up here in a minute.
You're long-winded. You'll be finishing up in the next hour.
Yeah. Anyway. But yeah. Let's see. Aaron says, the only thing I took was a very low dose of metformin. Yeah, again, that's another tool in the toolbox. Blood glucose. Everybody's sugar is high in the morning, and we understand that's now kind of considered the dawn effect. Think about in the morning, what happens to the body? The body starts to, the cortisol rises in the morning, blood sugar rises in the morning. All these things, all these processes start when you get up, because it's time to get up. And these are things that are designed to get you up and moving. And then they taper off throughout the day and then kind of come to a low spot as you're going to bed. And then as you wake, I mean, glucose is high in the morning. It depends on when you check it. Understanding that your body is putting these processes in place to get you up, moving, ready for the day. So you're going to be, whether you're manufacturing glucose, I mean, because you didn't, the stuff, what was that sleeping pill, babe, that people were taking and do stuff in the night, like whatever it was, like Ambien. Yeah, that's the stuff. Terry said, doctors totally push Tylenol. It does nothing for me. Our kids don't really do well with that either. Let's see here. Helen said, Dr. Berry must be he was making a fortune before this. So if you take 200 people and 200 people paid $3,500, that's $750,000. And then you do 2 of these a year. Let's say they stay at 200 people a session, so 400 people a year. That's $1.4 million. Now, that's divided between Dr. Berry, Nisha, and all the people who are taking the course. And this is not necessarily, I mean, I just know how much I paid. That's public record. How many people are taking the class? That's public record. Just simple math. And I imagine there's costs involved with overhead, with the product that they're using to provide us the service, that are paying themselves and all that stuff. And then he does, I mean, if you jump on one of his live chats on a Monday and watch the super chats roll in, he's making in a super chat what I make on YouTube in a year probably. So, but standard reason I have 6,300 subscribers. He has 3.5 million. So if he wasn't doing that, then he probably wouldn't be doing YouTube. I mean, YouTube is lucrative. He's got a book that just came out. He and Kim Howerton did the refresh of Common Sense Labs that's available. I put that in my post. If you want to go and buy it through my YouTube link, that would help me out. I think I get like 4% of $2 or $20 or whatever the cost is. Go to KetoSimple.Shop. Yeah, just try to sell myself there a little bit. Let's see. Helen said, you should do a live for certain people or mentor others how to build their channels. for a certain fee, maybe. I would love to get into that as well. It's just going to depend on time, how much time I have, especially with the courses coming up. And I still learning. So if you're curious to who I learned from, I pay attention to Roberto Blake, Nick Nimmin, his brother. I can't think of his name right now. As far as I will make a post with all these people in there as well, that can help. Because I mean, there's also video editing and just different things like that. I love Gary V. Gary V is huge when it comes to cutting through the nonsense that people have about social media. If you're going to be a creator and you want to push your information out there, you got to utilize the major 7 platforms. It's a lot of work. And if you want to help people, we got to push it out as far and as wide as we can, far and wide. We have to go far and wide, I think, and it's going to take all of us. It's going to take me and Helen and Risa and Cindy, Andy and Amy and Joe and Rachel and the Dr. Berries and all the big, the small, the Barbaras, all the people out there that are starting these channels and sharing their journeys and wearing their emotions on their sleeve and sharing the hard to talk about stuff. Like telling people that you have to utilize a tool to wipe your backside is not an easy thing to tell the world, because you don't know how many people are going to see that. I talk about in a short, and I'm no secret, I'm very open about the things that I deal with. There was a point in time where I couldn't use the powder room downstairs over here. I had to go upstairs to use the bathroom. I love you, babe. I'm gonna be in our room cleaning. All right. And so yeah. And Helen says that she had 122 subs. Now she's YouTube is kind of always a constant cleansing of itself. Bots, all these things kind of get removed. People they think are bots will get removed. New accounts, old accounts, people will sub and then deactivate their channels or whatever. And then, I mean, there's also kind of an ebb and flow. If somebody subscribes to your channel because they catch one video of yours and like, I want to watch more of this, but then they only watch other stuff and then they stop seeing your stuff, never watch anything else you do. So there's a lot of things about YouTube that you can't take personal. Risa says, Ozempic is scary. I don't think it's worth it long term. And I mean, I don't think we know long term. Do I think it's worth it? I mean, if it can get someone to a point where they have less food noise and they're able, and they can get into a ketogenic or a carnivore ketovore type lifestyle, and they can then sustainably consistently eat that way to where the food noise starts to dissipate naturally without Ozempic, and then they're able to back off that GLP-1 and they're okay. Was the risk worth the reward? In that use case, probably so, but we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. And Helen says, "You'll do amazing. You'll earn money that you deserve, and I know you will. You will as you care. I care probably more than I'm at. I am awake at night thinking about stuff, and I really need to get like a voice. I have obviously have a phone and all these things, and I can probably record all these things. But I'll have these wonderful ideas for videos in the middle of the night, and I'm like, I'll remember this in the morning, and then I do not remember them in the morning. And I've been very much slacking when it comes to my own content. I put out now 6 full-length videos this year. Here we are coming into September. I normally would have a couple of hundred by this year, but I've been doing a lot more lives. Yeah. Risa says, I got to leave. Work to do around here. Have a great day. Hungry. Booby Goats is gone. Well, Aaron, we love you, and I hope you and Risa, you too. Hope you guys have great days. Cindy says, prior to having gastric bypass in 2007, I tried everything. I was trying to run away from family medical history. Saw no other way. Then I did it. Yeah, I just think that like We do what we think we have to do in the situations we're in. In 2007, that was the information you had. That was the best information you had. So I wouldn't be too upset with it. I know it's not optimal outcome, but you did what you thought you did with what you had to work with at the time. And Helen says, I never had surgery or used or do Ozempic or whatever. So now I do carnivore and I did, but I did think about it. I mean, it's always there. It's always something to think about, you know. Cranky Carnivore Cutlers in the house. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Is that many of the major side effects were not known until the new human guinea pigs were prescribed the high dose. Yeah, because it wasn't something that was even high. It was, high dose is relatively new. Because I mean, you can get a GLP-1 kind of benefit out of you act, but it's going to act like a low dose. So people are playing around with doses. People are taking very low dose. I don't know. Obviously high versus low, but I don't know. Like, is 1 milligram high? I don't know. Amy's back. Back again. Holly says, did you see Nick Norowitz's video yesterday about cholesterol meds, GLP-1s? It was very, I haven't had a chance to watch his stuff. His stuff takes brain power that I don't currently have. Oh my goodness. And Amy says, use the memo recorder on your phone. And I can do the whole like talk to my phone and it'll record things for me. I know it will do it. I've done it before. But then I got to risk waking her up in the middle of the night and then having her beat me up or whatever, you know. And Ellen says, I'm still learning how to push YouTube, but it will build naturally. Yeah, that's the thing is the most important thing to understand about YouTube is it's kind of like a game of spinning plates. So you've got to be constantly working on your content. Your content needs to be authentic. Your content needs to be, especially in this space, content needs to be authentic. It needs to be not necessarily well thought out, but you need good audio, you need good video. At least it needs to be watchable and not so annoying people are going to click off of it. You need to learn how to do thumbnails. Thumbnails are important. I'd imagine we're probably going to get into kind of moving thumbnails at some point. There might be like flashing and that'll be a whole new ball game of things to worry about instead of just the stagnant picture that we're used to now. Titles, and then all the things like do hashtags mean anything? Do tags mean anything? Should you be worried about it? How do you optimize your SEO to get to the top of search results? How do you get your channel noticed? My thing is like I watch enough content on this channel, on this account. I try to watch only this community with this account. I have another YouTube account where I watch primarily the things that I'm interested in outside of this community so that this account will continue to show me what you guys put out along with finding new channels. So I found Barbara. It showed me that she was live and I was like, well, let me jump in and say hi. So, Terry Sue says, I'm anticipating a thunderstorm, going outside to enjoy it. Bye, guys. Thanks for the great dialogue this morning. Have a good day. Thanks for being here, Terry. We truly, truly appreciate you very much. And Amy says, I agree. I agree. I hope we aren't supposed to be Nick Norwitz after the PhD class. Oh, my goodness. I mean, he's a legitimate doctor. He's an MD and a PhD. So he's been to Oxford and Harvard, so I don't think there's no amount of anything that's going to make me like Nick Norwitz. So and Cranky says, yeah, that's that's for the PhD class. And Amy is telling Helen, I would love to have you come on the channel. I would help you get some more viewers. Not that I'm a large channel. Going on other channels helps get new subs. Yeah, I mean, it's just getting your face out there and, getting your story out there. Because, I mean, that's really what it matters the most is telling your story. And there's so many people out there who have amazing stories who aren't convinced that their story is worth telling. And you have to remember that there's so many people out there that have normal stories. Your story is going to resonate with people, and that's going to help somebody most likely more than some extravagant, huge, ridiculous. I lost 700 pounds or whatever. Just telling your story is going to resonate with a group of people that are living the same thing, that are living the same experiences. So telling your story lets people know they're not alone. And it builds community, it builds trust, it builds a place for us to go to be ourselves. We can talk about things, help others. And I know, yeah, yeah. Cindy says, "Have a great day, everyone." Same here, Helen. Helen, I'd love to have you on. I sent you an email, and everybody's story is worth telling. So true, Dustin. Yeah, everybody has a story worth telling. It doesn't matter. And Amy says, I didn't think my story was as compelling as most are, but I've been getting a lot of people reaching out. So that's the thing is your story, no matter how mundane you may think it is going to be resonating with somebody else. Your story being just like theirs is what they are going through. They need to know that they can get through it too. Yeah, we lost Chandra. I know it's not as much fun when she's not here. And Helen says, "Thank you so much, Amy." Cindy says, "Gotta run." Well, thank you all so very much. We've at 2 hours and a half now. Normally we don't go this long, but anyway, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for being here. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for listening to us go on and on all day. Again, just to recap, we talked about the Ancestral Beef Thyroid supplements. We talked about all kinds of stuff, our thoughts on GLP-1s, weight loss surgery. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, visit KetoSimple.Shop for all the things and ways to help this channel grow and finance itself. And anyway, thank you so very much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. And here are the credits, everybody.